Dobrodošli ispred štand Volonterskog centra Vojvodine. Mi smo ovde na Etnofestu kao volonteri. Znači, može i tako da se dođe na Etnofest, ne mora samo da se plati karte, se čuje ono što se voli, nego može malo nešto da se uradi.
Moj prijatelj je jednom prilikom volontirao u Japanu i njegov posao je bio da petardama tera majmune sa nekog imanja. Da li si, reci nam još neki tako zanimljiv slučaj volontiranja, da li ga uopšte znaš?
Naravno, postoje različite polje interesovanja, znači svako ko voli nešto da radi, pa čak i da rasteruje majmune petardama, moj lično to nije izbor, može da se prijavi na našem sajtu, postoji link gde će da pogledaju sve kampove, znači za svaki kamp postoji opis kampova, po zemljama je namešteno, tako da je to vrlo lako pronaći.
Heklanje i štrikanje nije teško i može se naučiti za veoma kratko vreme, kažu u Volonterskom centru Vojvodine. Ističu da je korisnost ovih radionica višestruka jer osim što pomažete drugima, možete naučiti da isheklate nešto za sebe i sebi drage osobe.
Međunarodni volonterski kampovi, prema rečima naše sagovornice, traju u proseku 2 nedelje, a održavaju se u skoro svim državama sveta. Naši volonteri ipak se najčešće odlučuju za evropske destinacije, imajući u vidu da sami snose troškove putovanja, a da su hrana i smeštaj obezbeđeni.
Ne znam još za nekoga ko je imao neko loše iskustvo. Uglavnom su iskustva sjajna i nama se isti ljudi pojavljuju već godinama, idu na kampove. Neki koji su već dosta prošli po Evropi kampova, odlučuješ se i za dalje destinacije, pa tako nekad šaljem neke u Japan, Hong Kong i slično, odluče se, odvaže se da odu dalje, tako da iskustva su po pravilu sjajna.
Na ovim kampovima mogu učestvovati svi zainteresovani stariji od 18 godina iz cele zemlje, a prema rečima naše sagovornice, druženja na ovakvim manifestacijama često prerastu u prijateljstva za ceo život.
Povodom obeležavanja Dana volontera, Volonterski centar Vojvodine organizuje seriju aktivnosti pod nazivom Kako smo stigli od 29. novembra do 5. decembra. Cilj pomenutih aktivnosti jeste obeležavanje Dana volontera kroz prizmu prošlosti gde će kroz fotoizložbu prikazati razvoj volonterizma iz perioda posle Drugog svjetskog rata i za vreme postojanja Socijalističke federativne republike Jugoslavije pa sve do toga šta je ono danas.
Volonterski centar Vojvodine već 5. godinu za redom organizuje akciju prikupljanja pomoći migrantima. Ideja za pokretanje akcije javila se upravo zbog hladnih zimskih uslova u kojima su se našli migranti u Somboru.
Hladni uslovi znači da je ljudima naprosto teže da borave gde se nalaze, da će se duže zadržavati, ali također da nažalost njihove potrebe nisu celokupno zbrinute. Mi pokušamo da dopunimo određene rupe dobrom voljom, bukvalno građana i građanki koji sarađuju sa nama.
A šta je potrebno da se donese narednih dana kako biste pomogli edukativni centar Maštavište, to će nam reći Boka Ida iz Volonterskog centra Vojvodine. Dobroveče.
Dobroveče.
Dakle, šta je potrebno od stvari da se donese od sutra pa sve do 12. decembra?
Potrebno je da se donesu instrumenti bilo kakve vrste, znači ksilofoni, frule i sve ostalo što možete zamisliti da ste nekada u školi koristili kao instrumenta. Isto tako može biti trabuka, gitara i sve ostalo. Potrebni su i zimske stvari, znači kape, šalovi, cipele, jakne, sve dečije.
Došli su iz Italije, Češke, Španije, Hrvatske, Belgije da bi sa istomišljenicima, volonterima iz Srbije uredili sportski centar Đorđe Tapovića Đoja u Bačkom Gradištu. Emanuela Seti u rodnom Trevizu bavi se financijama, ali s osmehom tipičnim za Italijanke kreči, farba, šmirgla i kaže da joj se Srbije i njeni žitelji veoma dopadaju.
Ovo je moj prvi međunarodni kamp. Pre toga učestvovala sam na vikend kampovima u Italiji. Ne znam puno o Srbiji, ali mislim da ću mnogo toga otkriti.
You've been with the organization for forever. Can you start with that?
not really forever. We founded the organization 20 years ago when I was one of the founders, but actually it started before I joined. They were a project of this other organization organizing voluntary work camps, international voluntary work camps, and some of the people I knew, they were in this organization. But they had some bad experience and then they decided to make a new organization. So this is when I joined. So yeah, it was like maybe 1 year before like the official beginning of VCV. I was invited by them because I've been to a work camp, and that was my first experience. And after that we decided to make our own organization called Volunteer Center of Vojvodina. And 9 of us, according to the laws of Serbia, for NGOs in that time, we needed 9 people to make an NGO. So there are a lot of founders of this organization, but the funny thing is that this is my 3rd time back. And yeah, so now I work for VCV again after 20 years. The first work camp I attended was, believe it or not, like 20 kilometers from the place where I'm coming from Novi Sad in Serbia. So I was not traveling, you know, all these stories that the young people travel through the world to volunteer and then they like make huge experiences. It happened 20 kilometers beside my city. I took like the city bus to get to the work camp, a blue one. And it was amazing. It was really something completely different, new, alternative, a bit anarchistic, not so structured. So I really enjoyed that, you know, that it was so made spontaneously. You know, unlike the maybe training seminars or youth exchanges, which I haven't attended in that time yet. But yes, I was already studying youth work, so I knew some things about group dynamics and how groups work. And for me, it was really fascinating to see it alive, you know, coming to life. So that was my first work camp. And then after that, it just dragged me in, you know, they contact me for other things and I never said no.
Well, my journey in VCV started as a spectator from afar, then a participator, volunteer, facilitator, youth leader, trainer, and finally board member. And I think this is the magic of VCV, is that once you start, you don't want to stay away.
Some of you know me from the period since 2015 until 2018-19. I was the most active. Unofficially, I'm still in the organization, helping out in different projects, mostly related to refugees and migration. That was the case also in my earliest period of VCV. I was really passionate about this topic and I still am. And when I say passionate, I was really on the front lines and doing all kinds of projects and writing projects. Also being in Belgium as part of the International Secretariat as a volunteer for leading the Building Bridges campaign.
I met us 20 years ago in 2004 when I was a 24-year-old passionate environmental volunteer who was as green and knew nothing about the world. Everything I learned about the world since is in one way or another attached to our organization. I have since been a volunteer that has, in a few years, was co-opted in boards and then has been part of boards of our association more or less since. For a few years, I was privileged enough to also coordinate our association. I have cooked countless garlic soups for us in long nights of project writing. And today, everything I am and everything I do is in one way or another intertwined with our work and with who we are in the world.
It was the summer of 2023 and I saw a job opening for a project coordinator. At that time I was starting to transfer from the commercial hustles that I used to do. And I decided to apply, and that's how I met the entire board because I got the position, and I stayed. We're in the office that we share with VCV13, and our current activities are not as active because of the events that happened in Novi Sad in November 2024. And the protests, I think, impacted the communities that we are trying to reach out, because VCV, I would say, is in a process of reshaping since I came here, so the past year or 2 years. It has been the search for identity and for different communities that we can touch and connect. Our current activities mostly impact like how people who move to Serbia, so migrants who have like legal papers, as well as minor communities that are interested in meeting and living with foreigners. This is our main focal point, and being a connection to different local grassroots organizations and informal collectives to create different activities for the community here.
As I said, like, this is my third time in VCV. I was there as a founder, and I was working like leading work camps, and I was the coordinator of work camps and doing placement for the local work camps in that time. Then later I came back in 2016, and I was there for 2 years coordinating a project. And then I left and I came back last year, I guess. Yeah, last year. But I came back from a different place. Like, before I was living in Novi Sad, and I was born there, and I founded the organization in Novi Sad. So VCV is an organization from Novi Sad, but we were actually never just an organization that works in Novi Sad, you know. Vojvodina, it means the area, you know, like the northern part of Serbia. And this is what we wanted. We wanted to organize work camps in rural areas and to somehow activate the local youth in the rural areas, because in that time when we started, they were not able to travel, only with visas, and for visas you need invitation letters. So we were kind of a resource for bringing people from other cultures to the rural area, and also to send young people from there to other countries to get some kind of cultural experience, international experience, because we saw how many disadvantages come from not traveling at all and not meeting other cultures and other people. They didn't speak English. They were quite shocked when they saw like how other people maybe eat or behave, or that they're not so resilient towards alcohol. That's like stupid examples, you know, but they had no knowledge about other cultures than their own, because before we had the war and later we had the visa regime. So this is the gap that we wanted to fill in, you know, like to provide this opportunity for young people to see the world, and also the world to see us, to come to Serbia and not to see us as a country that's in the war all the time, you know, that is dangerous actually, but as a peaceful area with some maybe rebellious people.
My name is Chris, and I chose to apply because a very good friend of mine told me that this was being organized, and I thought it would be a very interesting thing to sleep in a tent, because I've never slept in a tent before, and it would be a completely new experience. So I was I'm an adventurous person, so I wanted a new adventure. Overall, it was an amazing experience. Like, I have to say, of course, every time you try something new, it can be a bit, something to get used to. Like, for example, the first night I could not sleep in the tent. I was like, Jesus, like I'm outside. But all in all, I find it like it was just an amazing experience.
I found this project through the International Civil Service database, and I chose to join, to participate, because I was at first caught by the name of the work camp, and because I was interested in come and see about what was going on with this project, with this cleaning the area and let's say set up the space for something else. Makes me think of the Restless plane, because we are always doing something, work, but also at the same time staying together, sharing the space, cooking. So I think that what I bring back home is also some kind of sense of community and sharing a space for a common project.
For challenges like the cooking, when we were organizing who gonna cook, like that was kind of a little bit disorganized for me, and also like we had like very tough like organizations, because of some people like could not arrive on the time, and so that brought us like a little bit of challenge, because for some time we were like not enough, there were not enough people in the forest, so yeah.
And what did you learn through these experiences?
I learned to appreciate and accept all the people who I work with, and to be always positive.
Before, when I was coming back to VCV, I was coming from Novi Sad, as I said, but now I live in Tavankut. Here we also had work camps, and there is this Sonia, Sonia is not here right now, but this Sonia, she had a friend, and she asked her friend from Tavankut to organize a work camp here. And this friend is now my husband. So yeah, this Dubravko was organizing work camps here in Tavankut, and we actually met on the project, and like a while later we became a couple, and now we have a family, and we are living like outside of the village, like in nature. So a lot of things happened, like world crisis, wars happened, COVID happened, family happened to me personally. But after I came back to VCV, it was a whole other energy that I brought inside the organization. Unlike before, I was not like fighting against openly, but I was now in this third round. I started building up alternatives for living, like a place that makes life easier to survive, and then who wants to go back to the cities to fight, yeah, okay, but you can also stay here. So I wouldn't be able to do it without the support of first my partner, of course, who understands what we are doing, because he's also from the same organization basically, and without the power from Novi Sad, like the people who are now in the organization and the power that I got from Subotica, because we are near Subotica. And since I'm here, I started to like hang around with different people, and I just found my people. So now we have also members from Subotica, you know, so we have like Novi Sad, Subotica, Tavankut, it's kind of connected. And when you bring all these energies together, then you know, things start to happen. We have a significant partner in Kosovo. It's Helena. And she made there a miracle. She would actually say like, oh, but I'm so tired, you know, and a lot of things are not functioning yet, it's a miracle. You know, it's many of us been to Gaia, and we saw that it's possible to build up something like that. And because of the resources that they have and because of the knowledge that they have, we are partners on many projects that deal with that teaches permaculture and or natural building or like some kind of symbiosis with the nature. And how it was happening in the past few years was that we sent participants mainly from the urban areas. They come back, and usually we lose the connection, you know, like because we don't have our own place. So we've been like talking about this a lot, and what we thought is that if we would start something to do with this knowledge, you know, and this knowledge is like very, very valuable now in this world, especially if you don't want to stay in the urban area to continue your life in a small flat, then you should do something with it, you know, not to theorize like academically, you know, like, I don't know, writing papers about it, but just to do it, you know, because we are like a do-it organization, and it's been like that since ever. You know, it's the work camps. I don't like if you start with a work camp and you build your organization on a work camp, then you're a do-it organization. This was the first thing that we did together, actually, and it was organized on our property with our family, like with the dogs and the child and everything else.
Yeah.
It went well, no?
Yeah, it went actually excellent. I mean, we realized that it's going to be hard work, a lot of work, but when you start with that kind of surrounding, that's something that you can expect. And so we have like long-term visions and short-term visions, so everything is quite good.
He's local, I'm not. It's good to have somebody who is local, but it's good to have somebody who is not, you know, because when we published, for example, we had like an action of cleaning the monument here in Tavankut, and you know, like I don't have certain feelings connected to like who is going to come or who is not coming. Like I have my crew, you know, of people from the work camp, and I feel kind of secure. So, you know, like there are no feelings attached because I'm not from here, you know, but in the other hand, he knows the local people and he can invite. So we had like help from like the local fireman brigade and everything else. So it's like a good combination to work with the local community. But as we imagine this place, it's not only for people coming to occasional events of VCV, but also like to have a strong connection with the local community. And first our friends actually joined who...
Yeah, that's the first circle of people. You contact your friends. But even I mean, I am from here, but even I get surprised when some people contact you and say, "Oh, great, you did an excellent job. Let's connect. Let's do that together next time." And people are a bit, I wouldn't say shy or reserved, but
suspicious.
Suspicious, maybe. Yeah. And not too much informed, but when they see that you have that you're putting an effort to do something for greater good for the community, they want to be part of that. So I have no doubt that we will have a very good and strong base here in the local community for the future plans.
What would you wish to VCV for its 20th birthday?
More people. People care, fair share. I'm now thinking of the Rakia connections. Maintaining the virtues that we have and just strengthening the connections between us.
I really wish us to have another 20, 25, 30 years of doing the right things and being on the right side of history as we are and as we were. And this is something that's extremely important in the times of crisis, which we are in right now. I think that VCV will always stand for the right values, and we should never forget what is the core. And people that were before me in the organization established these values and they established this philosophy of what VCV is, and I am really proud of it because it's actually rare. So I really wish us to, in the next several decades, be on the right side of history and continue nurturing the right things and expand as much as possible.
I've met some of my closest friends and mentors through this work. I've learned about love and care for people and for the environment. I've learned critical thinking and resilience. I've learned that you can take ideas and inspiration that can feel like utopia and you can make them into a reality. So thank you, VCV, for showing a cynical, existential teenager that there are people that believe in the power of community and that fight for freedom and for peace. So happy birthday and keep growing and transforming ever more.
I hope next birthday we celebrate in a liberated Serbia, and I hope many, many more years of becoming for all of us and for new generations, and for peace everywhere, justice, and happy birthday.
Happy 20th birthday, VCV, from the SCI International Secretariat. We appreciate everything you've done, being a stronghold for SCI peace work and volunteering in the Balkans. For your birthday, we wish you a liberated Serbia where you can keep working for 20 more years. And he says happy birthday too.
Happy birthday, VCV! For many more years to come!
كل عام وانتم بحي بخير.
Veliki خير verjaardag.
Hyvää syntymäpäivää. Srećan rođendan!
Happy birthday!